My name's John Cottenham. The business is John Cottenham's Butchers. We've been sort of in business now, well, this is my first year of actually doing so, but I've been butchering virtually all my life, over 30 odd years.
I was introduced to John through a local accountant. It's someone that I've worked with before. He introduced me to John to help him purchase a business from his former employer. John's a local butcher and he wanted to run the company himself. I
was a partner here in the business for sort of 7 years before I took over, and it was at a point then when I was to take over that I needed to some legal advice in actually sort of taking the business forward and sorting out all the legal issues, which you think there are few, but in fact there are many. So you really need somebody that knows what they're doing, because unfortunately you might know your business but you don't know everything, and to sort of make it as easy as possible, it's good to find somebody that knows all the ins and outs to actually get that sort of side of things sorted out.
I helped John prepare an asset purchase agreement, which is a document that helps to pass the assets from one party to another. This meant that John bought the assets of the butcher's business. He also needed a lease to the premises, so we worked on assigning the lease from his former employer into John's company's name.
She was able to offer all of her business contacts to actually sort of make the whole thing nice and straightforward without me actually doing any more research, because it's, you know, you're busy enough. There's enough to try and sort out and do yourself without having to do all that as well. So that whole process made life a lot easier.
I also helped John with dealing with the mortgage of the business to buy the business. We liaised with his bank, we did the searches, we did all the due diligence checks for him. I developed a very good relationship with his bank business manager in the process, and also helped John with some queries around employees, because he was taking on employees for the first time, and how to manage that transition.
She had a real in-depth knowledge of her job. She was very efficient about coming back to me whether I needed a sort of question answered very quickly. She was with us right the way through this. She never sort of hesitated. She was always looking out for our best interests, and particularly towards the end of the process, when it was coming towards a point, there was one particular issue that we were having, and I contacted her a couple of times just to make sure in my own mind that I was right in what was going to actually happen, because it could have really complicated things towards the end. And I met with her and she went through it with me. She emailed me the response again, and also had it in writing. So when it come to a point where it did become a little difficult, I knew that I was absolutely in the right with what was going to go forward, purely and simply because Caroline was there to support and advise and reassure me that what we were doing was absolutely correct.
So the kind of companies I'm looking to work with would be companies that are undertaking substantial transactions, commercial transactions, perhaps acquiring a new business or merging with another business. They might be the sort of companies that are listed on the stock exchange, for example, AIMS listed companies that need company secretarial and legal support.
I would definitely recommend Caroline for anybody out there that's buying a business, be it a small or large. She's there all the time for you. She gives you great support. She's contactable all over the weekend, holidays or anything like that, and she just helps make a process which, I say, you might not be aware of, much easier by giving good support, good knowledge, and a good base of other people around her that can also help in this process.